All right.
Go.
Welcome back to the Broken Port Podcast, everybody. Coming at you with another week of tech news, stories, and other things of that way. Just before we start, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched this past week. Our video from last week, I think, is hitting about 900 views right now. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a record for us. It means a lot to us. And even if you watched it for like 30 seconds,
We
thank
still
you so much for that.
love the love.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely love it. Thank you for the likes, for the watches, for the comments, anything. Really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Tell your friends and let's keep it going. Now, getting into this week, we've got some great stories lined up. We have Android starting to do things a little bit quicker.
They're,
We've got,
they're a phone.
yeah,
They are a phone.
they're a phone. We've also got ridiculous amounts of money asked from Google.
Quadrillion, zillion, billion, gillion.
A little bit of Dr. Evil situations there with more money than there is in the world. Chat GPT is up to some more shenanigans, giving Google a run for their money. So Google's in here a couple times this week.
It's a conflict of interest.
Slightly,
We'll talk about it.
maybe.
No.
And we've got some new stuff from Apple. Mac Mini is looking pretty cool. We've got new iMacs, which I have kind of mixed feelings about in general, but we'll get into that later. We'll touch on kind of Black Friday and kind of the different sales that are going to be coming up soon.
It's coming around the bend.
And Josh wants to run some long cords, and I'm going to tell him why he can't.
I
So,
want it.
again, welcome to the Broken Port Podcast. As always, my name is Mitch, the guy who kind of knows what he's talking about sometimes.
And my name's Josh, and I resort to solving my computer problems by yelling and screaming at it. It kind of makes me feel like a big man.
Yeah, but you're not.
Hey, Mitchell.
Yo.
How has your week been? Mine was a disaster.
Yeah, mine was a little hectic too,
It's
but it's nice to
almost
be.
over.
Yes. For
Yeah.
me, the weekend starts now,
Mm,
so I'm happy about that.
yeah.
I don't have to wake up at like 3:30 tomorrow, so
Nice.
I'm ready to
Well,
sleep.
you got to wake up early to edit the pod.
Well,
That's something you got to do.
the pod can wait a couple of minutes.
So yeah, I had a doctor's appointment today, and
Sounds like a blast.
I'm approaching 40 in a few years, and the doctor kind of looked at me. He's like, "Well, we could get ahead of this now, or you could put it off a couple of years." And I subscribe to yes to that. Let's put that off. And I put it off.
That sounds like a great call, especially for your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I'm a
well done.
let's see what happens kind of situation kind of guy.
Let's see what happens later.
You've had
Preventative maintenance? No. That's just a waste of everybody's time. Do you have anything fun and exciting that's new other than your stressful long week?
I honestly wish I could say yes. What about you? Anything tech related going on?
Not really tech related. No. See, we try to keep this up with these like very interesting tech things that are like, hey, I got a new power supply, I got a new CPU.
You know that teaches me we only have so many problems.
I can't buy a new computer part every week. I'd like to. I would build a PC every week. Maybe we'll get to that. Maybe we'll get to the point where on this channel I can do a PC build every week and we can do a giveaway, kind of like Robitech does.
And I'll scream at it.
There's a reason to subscribe so that we can get this going. Everybody wins. You get free PCs, I get to build them, and we have more things to talk about. However, until that happens, you're going to hear about my fish.
Fish?
Josh is usually all about the fish.
Yeah, my wife really liked the fish.
This week, I got fish. I got a fish tank, just a 10-gallon, which I used to think was big, but no, it's apparently not big, and you can only get this many fish and so on. But it's pretty cool. I had some nice colorful fish. Everything is alive, and hopefully it stays that way. Freshwater.
Freshwater.
I got guppies and a cichlid. It's called like an apisto or something. Looks like it's gonna be really cool. It's very like simple.
Can't wait till he evolves.
Yeah, Pretty much. I just have like I have a Magikarp, but it's gonna become a Gyarados. So I'm excited
Dragon
for that situation.
Rage.
But anyway,
Should we
enough
get to
about my
this?
fish. I mean, I guess we should get into tech. We
Yeah,
talk
let's
about tech
get
once
into
in a
this.
while, right? Okay.
Hey, so much time on Apple and their phones. We got to give Android some love. So what do we got?
So just really quick, I've very often considered just getting an Android phone so I can like keep up to date with what's going on with Android.
Mm,
I have an iPhone and I love it. And but I'm also not like all iPhone and Android's trash. No, I've had both and I enjoy both, but I have iPhone just because of certain conveniences and like the ecosystem of like iMessage and FaceTime and all that. Most of my family, close friends all have that, so that's one of the reasons why I use it. But I also like Android. I really liked my Samsung Note that I used to have,
mm.
and I would love to have both, but I mean, what am I going to do with both?
Between I think generations 4 and 6 of the iPhone, I think I had a LG when they were making phones. It was
Oh yeah?
it was like I think it was a slider, but it did have a touch screen.
Mm.
So
Was that like
and
one
it
of the chocolates or something?
I don't remember why you asking questions to answers I don't have. Anyway, so but what I did respect was its like interoperability with like PC. Like you can rip a video from your iPhone and put it on your computer with the help of 27 tutorials. You can do that. It is
Yeah.
possible. But it was like a digital camera almost. It was just plug it in. Oh, boop. Yeah, I'll recognize this. Oh, I'll click that file. Oh, there it is. Now, where the files are, there's a billion of them, but it usually makes sense once you catch the naming schemes. So I like its interoperability, inter-universal connectivity of they're not trying to seal off the garden, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And like with Mac and with your iPhone, you can have full like text capability and everything on your Mac. You can just type and text and iMessage works. With Android, look, I've never used it, so I can't say exactly how it works, but you can connect your Android phone with your Windows PC. So that has been something tempting for me. So it's like, okay,
Yeah,
if I'm on my computer, like right now, I use my
take a
phone
call.
as my camera, right? For the podcast. So right now my phone is unavailable for me.
Mm,
But if I had an Android, it wouldn't be unavailable. I could still text, I could do whatever I need to right now while my phone is being occupied.
mm.
So that's kind of an appealing feature, but again, I don't know. Maybe at some point, again, channel grows and we can do more interesting things in addition to the podcast. Maybe at some point we can do some sort of like trial situation where we both get Android phones for like a month or something and we see how it goes.
Ooh, that's a challenge. Maybe like
You know?
a Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji kind of Craigslist situation.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Kind of
have
one of those fun things like
$150 to spend on a phone to have for 1 month.
I feel like 150 will not get it done. We could
No,
kind
no,
of do
that's
that
the
now.
fun part. It's like having to deal with the jank. We're doing it.
That's part of it. That's kind of like Linus test drive in Linux for a month and that kind of thing. So we should probably get into the actual story,
Let's get
which
to the
is
article.
sort of less interesting, I think, than this. But
Yeah,
anyway, uh, they're basically moving up their release dates for Android updates and kind of like the next OS and all that for Android. Usually they release it in Q3, which is the third quarter of the year.
yeah.
Uh, but they're moving it up to Q2. Usually, what happens is the Pixel gets the releases first. So, whatever new like features and operating system the Pixel gets, and then the following quarter, then Samsung, all the other Android uh, OSs will get then. But Google seems to always be fighting some sort of battle. So, this
They,
probably overall helps them to keep people on their good side. That's
they've
what I
got
think.
legal battles on all sides of that company.
We haven't even got into it. There is so much Google this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, they're moving it up. Are you an Android user? Are you an Apple user? Are you like all the way on one side or the other? What do you think of this? Let us
Can you
know.
swing both ways?
Let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, get their opinions too. Let's keep these high views going.
Yeah, yeah. Give us some love.
Oh, yeah. Now, how
More
much
Google.
money how much money is there in the world?
1 billion, gajillion, fifillion, million. Yeah.
You know what? Let's do a quick search here. How much money is there in the world? 2024.
One, two.
What comes up here? How much money does the whole world have? Okay. The world's total wealth 2023 stood at 454.4 trillion. It says at the end of 2022.
So this number is a 20, followed by a comma, followed by 11 groups of 3 zeros. How do you even say this number?
So we're not getting into this for any sort of political or anything. It just
No.
happens to be Russia is suing Google for let me read this off so I say it correctly. A Russian court has fined Google. This is from the BBC.com article by Graham Fraser entitled "Russia Fines Google More Money Than There Is in Entire World." Quote: the first line says, "A Russian court has fined Google 2 undecillion rubles." That would be a 2 followed by 36 zeros. The reason is for restricting Russian state media channels on YouTube. So let's see. This is
That's 11
this
groups
is
of
more money than there is in the world. So currently it's estimated that there's 110 trillion in the world. Wait, what?
Yeah.
110 trillion in the world. Then what did I find over here which said there's like
Inflation. That's what you
454?
found. Inflation.
Yeah, I don't know. AOL. AOL is still around? This is from
Yeah,
AOL.
they're doing things. They're doing things.
Do you use AOL? Let
Let's
us know in the
know.
comments below. What's going on with that? Do they still do the free trials on the CD? Because that's what I used to use AOL for. Okay,
You get
if
like 5 hours.
let's figure this out. Okay, Russian rubles. Can you even type this in? How am I going to do that? Okay, a Russian ruble is 10 cents. Or no, a Russian ruble is 1 cent.
I'm just gonna
It's
help
one.
Mitch out here, guys. This is unperceivable amount of finances.
Yeah.
It's to bury them, delete them as a company. It's their scheme to try to wipe them away. But it's not gonna
Basically,
work.
Russia wants to take out Google for their reasons. So, whatever. People get mad at people and so on. But the point here is just there's not that much money in the world. And so I don't know what's going to happen here. This should be an interesting story as it develops. This is very new. This was just reported on today.
This gets thrown out of court, right?
uh,
There's no way. This is more of a statement than anything, I would imagine.
there was also there was like a Simpsons episode where what was it?
Of course.
Chester J. Lampwick, he sues Itchy and Scratchy for
Yeah.
$100 billion. And the judge rules in his favor. He's like, although that number should come down a bit in appeal.
Well, what we instantly thought of was Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
$1 trillion.
They all laugh at him when he goes back in time. They're like, there's not much money in the world. How could you ask for that?
So yeah, this will be interesting how it works out.
This
How do
is
you
gonna
guys
be very
think it'll
interesting.
work out?
Yeah, what do you think the result's going to be? Is it going to be thrown out? Is there going to be some sort of compromise to a real number that Google's worth or that exists money in the world? I don't know. Let us know what you think.
Yes, and
down in the
while you're
comments.
letting us know, hit that like and subscribe, and stay classy.
San Diego.
Stay classy. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Now, OpenAI, one of Josh's favorite things. To be perfectly honest, look, I'm not a big AI user right now, okay?
Yeah.
I've dabbled here and there, but I think I've used OpenAI like twice.
Oh, really?
I don't go out of my way to use OpenAI.
It's pretty
I've
convenient.
used AI more for like kind of graphical things if I
Yeah.
need something, but I don't use it to like really get things done. I've tried it a couple times, but I don't know. That's just me. I'm not saying it's not useful. I just haven't really made a lot of use of AI. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll be better off. I don't know. Josh,
How about a
what are
video?
they doing?
How about a video? And I'll get around to that. But how about a video where Mitch has to use OpenAI, ChatGPT for any problem that happens in his life for like 48 hours, one weekend? You got to order pizza. Well, you got to assume that you're an idiot and you don't know how to do that. So you got to ask. I think there's something there.
Could be.
So
Let's so
basically,
before let's get into this. Let's update that subtitle so people know what we're talking about.
oh my goodness, I am so sorry, people. Um, so basically, OpenAI is like the ChatGPT function is a way to like guess words that precede other words. It's an open, it's large language model, right? So it's really good at perceiving what one word comes after the other word, and it assumes that that's got to be the answer because it took place in history 20 trillion times. So this is what you're after, kind of thing. It's not thinking, but it is using its algorithm to predict what you're after, kind of thing.
Mm.
It's not actively searching, but it's pulling, kind of thing.
So it's like a little bit of search engine. It's a little bit of like Alexa.
Yeah. So, but what they're doing here is making it into, well, not into, but forming a new Google, a new Microsoft Edge, a new Yahoo. Apparently, they're still doing things, but yeah. So like, it's opening up a new division of a search engine. But what's interesting is Microsoft owns, I think, OpenAI or a part of OpenAI. I don't know.
Mm.
When you're covering the news, things go in, things go out. But my point is, there might be like a conflict of interest, or maybe this is their way of down the road beefing up Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, could be. I'm curious to see what happens. Like I said in the past, when we were talking about Google getting sued another time, when I forget who it was, but they wanted Google to like break up the company and get rid of Android and have that be its own thing and whatever. No. Like I said in the past, I could see Google at some time, the search engine, getting taken out
Mm-hmm.
because of what's happening with AI. There's no
Well,
way Google gets rid of Android.
I think
They
what
will hang on to that. It's the best thing they have going for them. That
yeah,
is going to be the hardest thing
yeah.
to replace from a competitor.
So these guys are doing, OpenAI, is that they are developing broad tools, AI tools, such as a search market, but it's aiming to change how we use the internet. That's their whole philosophy: is how do we make the internet a new form of the internet?
Mm, yeah,
So yeah, it'll be interesting where this goes. Let us
yeah,
know, how often do you use ChatGPT?
yeah. You
And would
all
you like
in?
to see Mitch struggle? Because I would.
Would you like to see my challenges with AI? Because we haven't really like come together very well yet. Let's see. I don't know.
All right. Last story of the week. And that is Mac Minis are actually mini. Some might say microscopic.
This is pretty cool. So the new Mac Mini, if you haven't seen it, we'll try to remember here this week to link this article on The Verge. But I mean, you can find these images in a lot of places. The new Mac Mini is really small.
Yeah.
Looking at it just in the photos, it's beside the previous Mac Mini, which was also very small for the powerhouse that it was. I would say that the new Mac Mini looks like an Apple TV.
Yeah. I would say that's what they're aiming for,
Like it's a
because
little bit taller, I would think.
it's still enough
But
room to hide underneath the TV. Like
yeah, like
in
you could
between the
like
wall
velcro
and the
you could
TV.
like velcro it to the
Yeah,
back of your TV and it
exactly.
would sit there just fine, you
But
know?
like the point I want to bring out is that you can't build this thing for the
Yeah.
price that they're offering it. They're 10 gig. It has plenty of AO for something that you probably would do using it as an Apple TV, and other things. Like it's a pretty good value proposition, which is something I don't usually say about Apple. So
The Mac Mini is kind of a hidden gem. I feel like
yeah,
now that they've made these changes, it's gonna skyrocket even more in popularity because look, so recently I set up uh, a family member of mine with a Mac Mini for video editing and stuff at their business.
Mm.
and it was the previous one, which is still very slim, very compact, and a powerhouse for video editing. And for the
Mhm.
price you can get it for, I mean, look, you can beef it up and you can spend like 3 grand on it still for a
Mhm.
Mac Mini, but the entry level is like $700
Mhm.
Canadian, I think.
Mhm.
For what that is, it's incredible.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that powerful of a PC for that
Man,
price,
I'm
you
I'm
know?
thinking for like maybe not a Mac Mini. It would be nice to have if like money wasn't an object, but like I'm thinking one of these new M4s or M3 if goes on sale again for video editing on the go. Do
And
it in
these
your bed.
these M4s are going to be good. Apple Silicon is really good stuff.
Mm.
It's efficient, it's powerful, it's reliable, and the price point is becoming more approachable for how good it is, to
Mhm.
be honest. And with the Mac Mini, I think for say someone in our position, like a creator, whether you're entry level or more advanced, a Mac Mini is right up your alley because you can get it, you can get your work done, you don't have to worry about spending so much money. And if you want some that are more powerful, you can get them.
Mm.
I think actually Austin Evans was talking about it that most of their video editors in the studio already have Mac Minis, and they're going to switch like all of them over to these now because of the
Mm.
price point. The performance is really, really good for video editors for
Mm.
just the overall value and the package you get.
And with the
So,
connectivity of the Thunderbolt and the 10 gig, like that makes it great for a team of editors to collaborate on projects too. And I think it's got pretty good I/O. I see two USB-Cs at the front. I'm just looking at the pictures. I don't know if you're
mhm.
looking at the pictures. Two USB-Cs on the front there. Looks like to be a power button there. And then when you go in the back, it has its power connector, which I'm assuming there's going to be a big brick on this thing. And then it has Ethernet, and then one HDMI, and I'm assuming three Thunderbolt connectors.
And
That's plenty for something that is as clean as this is.
yeah, and this isn't in the article here. I'm just hopefully remembering this right from Austin's video.
Mm.
It's Thunderbolt 5. So it's
Oh,
like top tier, blazing fast, whether you're charging, whether you're data transferring, whatever.
nice.
Very nice. Very, very nice. And this is honestly a very similar convenience to a laptop because if you are editing at home and at the office, if you're like partially remote or whatever, you can just put this in your bag,
You could pop that in your bag. No problem. Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, you have to plug into a monitor. This is so easy to take around with you if you're going to edit here and there, or even if honestly, if you're going on vacation, if you're going to be able to be somewhere that has a TV, if you're
Yeah.
staying somewhere, you can plug this into your TV and you can do your work in your hotel room, you know?
And they have plenty of like peripherals that fold up real nice. And yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
What
mean,
I'm
look,
thinking too is like buy another power supply, put it in your office, and then have your monitor there, and that way you just bring in this thing. Oh, boop boop,
yeah.
good to go, and then boop boop. You have two sets of peripherals, two power supplies, two monitors. It's a remote worker's dream.
Yeah. Really, really, really cool. So nice to see this upgrade on the Mac Mini. Another thing that if you're watching our video, you're probably watching other tech videos, but Mac finally has put 16 gigs of RAM as their base entry level amount of RAM.
Welcome to the future, boys. We did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Last year, they tried to get away with 8 gigs still, and they're like, oh, our 8 gigs is equivalent to 16 gigs on a PC.
Sure.
No,
No one's buying
no.
it.
So now, especially for the price, I mean, look, RAM is not expensive. Okay. Give me my RAM.
Cheapest part. It's the
Just
cheapest part of the build.
put it in there.
Yeah.
So finally, start with 16 gigs. Now they still have entry level, I think it's 256 gig
Yeah.
hard drive, solid state drive.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think
We'll work on it.
their MacBooks Airs there, they still have the 8 gig. I was watching a creator today, and he said that they have Microsoft actually has pretty good AI tools for coding, but it needs the variants of the 16 gig to run it.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. Well, hopefully someone could snag, if not this, maybe the previous generation on a Black Friday sale, and that's our fun discussion of the week. What do you think of Black Fridays and, for that matter, Boxing Day, Prime Day? You getting a deal or what's up there?
So I'm gonna keep an eye out. I always like to see, some years I get stuff, some years I don't. It kind of depends on what I need at the time, because there's always deals, but you don't always need what's on sale,
Mm.
right? Like, there could be great deals on cameras, but if you're not like a photographer or someone that just needs a good quality camera, then what do you care? Could be $600 off, okay? But I need, like, I don't know, a screen. Well, they're
Yeah,
not on sale.
yeah.
Like, so it depends on what's on sale, what you need at the time. I feel like I have a bunch of things I need this year, so hopefully I find some kind of good deal. Are you looking for something specific?
Me, no, but I will spend money if I go, ooh, want. Anyway, so this article has a list of little tips that just for it's pretty good for the average consumer. And as you know, we are for the consumer, and we're onboarding new people on tech. So when you're Black Friday shopping, make a list of want items, make a list of need items in your shopping, because
Yeah.
there's a difference, and we all know there's a difference.
Oh yeah.
You'll want that X3D, but
I mean, maybe you need it
do you though?
a
We'll
little
see.
bit.
Anyway,
Maybe a little
research the products before you buy them. I think that this is something people struggle with, that we try to do is actually like put a little bit of your time. I know time is money, but put a little bit of your time into this, and you'll make a right decision. And this is a big one here. Do not rely on price matching. These companies are tricky. These companies are about making the dollar bills. So what they'll do is they'll jack something up for a month or two, and then right for Prime Day, oh my goodness, guess what?
I am passing the savings on to you!
Meanwhile, that was the price 3 months ago, regular. And then, of course, something Mitch struggles with: set a damn budget, would you?
I feel like there's some of that, what you're just talking about, some of that going on with the AMD 7800 X3D right now,
Oh yeah.
because it's back up to full price. It was on
Mm-hmm.
good deals, and then their new chips didn't do that well, so people were still going to be buying the old one. So they for some they put the new chips on sale, but not the previous one,
Mm,
just that one. They put it all the way back up to like over $600 Canadian.
yeah. These companies are
Watch
tricky.
watch for the sales on Black Friday for that. And as everybody knows, it's not just Black Friday. There's going to be like Black Friday week instead of Cyber Monday. It's going to be Cyber Week, and there's going to be pre-Black Friday week and post Cyber Monday week, and then there's going to be Boxing Day, and there's going to be pre-boxing. There's going to be Boxing Month.
Buy all the
Basically,
things.
Consumerism.
basically from, what is it, like mid-November until January, there's going to be deals. So just keep an eye, and if there's something you need, get it. Most of these places too, especially like computer stores and stuff like that, they'll have some sort of like 2-week price guarantee.
Yeah.
If they happen to put it on sale for a better price like next week, they'll
Yeah.
usually help you out with that.
That's another good tip. Like, be mindful of policies where you're buying it. And another broken port media tip is to like and subscribe to the video.
Oh yeah.
Like!
So, Mitchell, you're ragging on my cord. Why are you ragging on my cord?
Hey, dude, he's ragging on your cord.
Well, because yours is just a piece of extension cord.
All right, so I'll tell. Sorry. So I will tell you why this topic has come up. I have discovered gaming at the same time my wife is on her Steam Deck or reading something on her iPad. It's a nice way to do separate things but still be together, you know? But my keyboard Bluetooth is so. And I would really like it if I can get a powered and connected USB cord there. And I'm really only dealing with like 25, maybe to route it nicely, maybe a 35, 50-foot cord. Is that possible? Do I need to hook up one of those adapter things that supplies power to like push it? I know there's lots of crap on the internet that's crap, so let me know.
So what exactly are you trying to do here?
Well, I'd like to connect a controller, maybe a hub, just something to connect there.
But what are you connecting to?
My computer, like a controller that's wired, or a mouse, or maybe a mouse and a keyboard kind of thing.
So your
Just
computer,
more of a stable connection than the 2.4.
so your computer there, and you want to basically
Go to
connect
a
it.
TV
You
on
want
the
to
other
connect
side of
it
that
to
wall.
the other room.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a separate screen. You
Yeah.
have okay,
Yeah. I got a long HDMI. It does the trick.
okay, okay. So yeah, you can
Because
do
the
that.
TV is only 60 hertz. So it doesn't have to do the high refresh rate, right? So
Mhm.
the longer HDMI is fine for that.
So I would say your best bets are to either stick with the wireless because see if you get Bluetooth 5.0, if you can get a card working, which you have a card, but I don't think it ever worked, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Maybe
had
we
a
can
6E.
maybe we can look into another one because
Although I wonder if that was a power supply issue.
see if you have just that could be a power supply issue. This is a very big tangent into this whole situation. Quick backstory. I got Josh a Wi-Fi 6 card for his PC, which also has Bluetooth 5.0 in it. So it never worked. Driver issues and that kind of thing, it seemed. But also he had a power supply that was no good. And I think we talked about this in the past, but having the wrong voltage and different things like that with your power supply can make really weird problems happen.
It's
So
such an underrated part to take good thought into.
yeah, so we never tried it again after we changed power supply.
Mm.
So we could always try that and see what happens. But really quick, when it comes to like USB cables, with any sort of like copper wire cable, you have certain limits to your distance. You should be okay. You said you're going about 25 feet. So for like a keyboard and mouse only need USB 2
Mm-hmm.
or 2.0. That can run far. That can run like almost 100 feet.
What about this guy? It's got to be similar when it's just plugged in.
You might want USB 3, but you could also you could run that as well. Like USB 3.0 or 3.1, you can get away with almost 60 feet or
Mm.
like 20 meters or 18 meters or something. That will work. But basically with any sort of cable, you're going to lose signal as it goes. It's kind of like your signal is facing resistance
Mm.
as it's going along, right?
Yeah.
And depending on what you're running, it can only go so far. Like copper cables have a certain distance they can run. Fiber cables are usually like at least triple the distance because it's light instead of like electricity
Oh,
and that kind of
I
thing.
I did see on Amazon they had one of those like USB to fiber Ethernet to back to USB. It's like Ethernet over, and they even had an HDMI over Ethernet kind of like dealy. That was
Yeah.
interesting. Huh. We'd have
So
to test these out one time.
yeah, we can try some things out. Look, I'm not gonna say that I know everything about you know, signal loss and all that, especially because there's always changes. There's new technology. This can go further, this can go shorter, and so
Mm.
on. But for what you need for this case, and if other people need this too, uh, even though with like, even if you're like a competitive gamer and you want like the quickest response and all that kind of thing, your keyboard and mouse is always going to run at USB 2.0 speed.
Mm.
With the fastest response, it's fine. With a controller, you can get away with it. It's slightly different for whatever reason, so it'll be better at USB 3. But you can fully get away with running a USB cable to your other room for those. But I mean, I would rather do it wireless for what you're doing. You're not doing
Okay.
competitive stuff.
Also, what I was thinking too is every now and then I have to turn this on when I'm turning on the computer in that room, waking it up, and I have to get up. I have to press this. I have to press the link button on my thing for it all to work, kind of thing. So if I had it just in there, don't have to put my pants on. Everything's all good. So I just thought it'd be handy to have a USB over there, a slot, just even
So
one
are
for
you
various.
for just for this specific problem? Because look, we're talking a little bit about kind of cables and their distances and use cases for this specific situation.
Mhm.
Are you just gaming or are you doing general computer things?
Gaming, watching a bit of YouTube, some Netflix, just because like it's already on there and it's easy to just do. Like I use this wireless mouse. It works just fine. It's more just like having the convenience of having a guaranteed connection for something, or should something need to be charged and used at the same time.
So I would say the best thing you could do for you is you have gaming, YouTube, and Netflix on your Xbox. And that's going to be just fine to
Don't
reach
have
Bluetooth.
Steam, and my wife's using the Steam Deck.
Well, sounds like you need to get another Steam Deck
There we have
with
it.
the OLED.
You know what? When you can't solve your problem, just spend it away. Right?
Josh also wants an ROG Ally X.
I do. I do.
I kind of want the Steam Deck. One reason being, see, we have different kind of like
Yeah.
lives and schedules and uses of these things. Josh will definitely get a lot more use out of his handheld than I will. For when I want to use one, it's going to be like, okay, I got like a few minutes. I can just turn it on. I can do this or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with only using Steam.
Yeah.
Uh, Josh has,
Game Pass.
he can use Game Pass. He can use Steam. He can do whatever he wants. Uh, so the ROG Ally is a little bit more useful to him, but I don't know, I'm thinking Steam Deck OLED for myself.
Hmm. Nice. Well, that has been our. Please explain this to me like I'm five section of the show.
With several tangents today. That was a very mixed bag, but I enjoyed it.
Yes,
I think it was
we'll try to get you guys under 35 minutes. Don't worry. We just have one corner left in this road, and that is Korea Corner. Who do you have this week, sir? Who do you have?
So this week I went off on a tangent because that's what I do. I take a tangent on everything. And I can't do a tech creator every week because there's only so many tech creators. There's only so many tech creators I know. So this is a non-tech creator.
You hurt my
Okay.
heart, man.
This is for a little something on the side if you
Something else.
want something else in your mind to be activated.
Yeah.
So this creator, Beard Meets Food.
Mm.
So for one thing, absolutely delicious content. Okay. What
This
this
is
guy
something
does,
where you watch a video and you gain like 5 pounds automatically.
definitely. The first time that I saw one of his videos was I don't know, I forget what I was looking up, but I came across it and he was at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, I think in England or something, where they had this pizza challenge where
Mm.
you have to eat a certain amount of pizzas and you get it free.
Mm.
And then on top of that, there was like a record to be broken. So this guy likes to take on these like food eating challenges. And there's been a lot of guys that have done this over the years, I guess. There was what was it? Man vs. Food. I think that was a show on
Yeah.
like cable or whatever.
Epic Mealtime, I think.
There was Epic
As well.
Mealtime. There was
Yeah.
a few different ones.
Yeah.
This guy's kind of along those lines.
Glutton. Yeah. Absolute glutton.
So I've watched some of his stuff and like it's quite the feat what this guy's able
The
to
guy's
do.
like eating with his hands too.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
lost
it's
the light.
like you lose all etiquette with these things. You'll like deconstruct it. It's just like I just gotta eat this, I gotta get it down, and it's pretty entertaining. Along with that, you find also some good places that you could go and eat or like try some of these things. Honestly, even if you're not gonna pull off the whole like eat the whole thing and it's free, looks pretty good to even share with your buddies. So check out Beard Meats Food. We'll link it down below. great stuff.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I have a creator called Dave2D. Now, this guy is sitting at 3.66 million subs. He doesn't need any love from us, but
Got
we're
a
going to
couple.
give it to him anyway. Hey, I'm pretty sure your creator has a lot of subs too. Maybe you look at this while I tell the good folks. Yeah, so this guy, he's like a Marquez. He's like an Austin Evans. He's like a Linus. He does reviews on phones, Bluetooth, iWatches, Apple Watches, phones, and a lot of laptops and peripherals. He gets into the handhelds, but he does it in a very non-pretentious way. And his shots are very clean, very crisp. And he was also on Gerald Undun's channel, and Gerald went and to rate his setup, and he said it was excellent. He really liked the concrete walls that aren't actually concrete. I won't spoil that video for you. Go watch Gerald Undone as well. But those concrete walls, there's a little lie to it. Anyway, so that's Dave 2D. Just good fun.
Cool. Yeah, I think I've seen some Dave
Oh yeah,
videos before. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, great content, great creator, like really good quality videos.
He's an OG for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So always a good source if you're
Well,
looking for anything tech related, really.
no.
If you want something better than what we do, Dave is a great option.
We'll get there though. I swear, we'll
We'll get
get there. Well, Mitch, that has been another episode.
Yeah, went by pretty quick. We're trying to keep these a little bit more
On the light side.
streamlined.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good for the drive into work or the drive back to home.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for watching the whole thing. You are an OG as well. And like and subscribe as always. And please leave a comment and share as well if you can. We appreciate it. From us at Broken Port Media, I've been Josh.
And I've been Mitch.
And go break something.
Absolutely. Have a great week, everybody. Go break something. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, he's always got to hijack my outro.
Yeah, that's right.